Greetings, queens and kings. Rise and shine, grand rising. Another day, March 17th, 2020. Daily diary. Just a place to put some of my thoughts, see what people think. You can look at it, disregard it, whatever you choose. It's just to start discussion. So, first of all, just give thanks for being here today. I am grateful for the day. I am excited to step out into the world and see what I can do. You never know what you're gonna get. So, here's to today. Here's to being able to express my thoughts and my own personal opinion on things, and we'll see where this goes. So I am grateful for today. It's kind of on my mind is some things that kind of came up yesterday when I was sitting with my mom. We just kind of processed through things. My mom is a strong woman, been through a lot. She is dealing with some health things like diabetes and whatnot. So in this time, when we talk about this virus going around and how it gets folks with compromised immune systems or respiratory issues and diabetics, I always have to talk to my mom about what's going on. So again, in my own personal opinion, I think it's much more than just a virus going around. I think it's much more, but I'll save that for discussion for another time. Kind of want to just talk about what we discussed. We saw some interesting things that came across, right? And then we started to kind of like put things together. And I made a comment to some folks that I work with, which was my own, learning lesson, right? That if you're not ready for a certain information, because it messes up or it might poke at your reality or what you think, then I can see why things can be tough. But we were kind of sitting there, we were thinking like, okay, it's 2020. Astronomy wise, it's a huge time. And it's always, history is always tied in some way, some shape or form to the cosmos. You can do your research on your own to figure that out. So we sitting there with like 2020, and a census commercial came across. And I thought to myself, yeah, I never even paid attention to that piece because there are so many moving parts, right? So 2020 census year. How would one get the most accurate count of folks, documented and undocumented? How would one get one accurate count? This is a way to do that. Like, everybody's got to be in their house. Right now, San Francisco is on a 24-hour lockdown for a couple weeks. More cities to come, I'm pretty sure, as they keep increasing the numbers and the people that are considered contagious. So it's interesting. You're still going to have to take the census. As you can tell, the government is still operating as planned. They're still doing what they have to do. So the census is going to be a huge part of this. My thought process behind it is because we had this whole thing about foreigners, undocumented folks being in the United States, and how we wanted to kind of change that, right? It's interesting. Now, everybody's got to be in a certain location. If you're not in a certain location, what's going to happen? Did they tell us what would happen for those folks in San Francisco that chose not to stay in their house for those 2 weeks in that 24-hour lockdown? They haven't told us anything. So, kind of interested in this topic because if you're able to go door to door, count folks, get an accurate count, right? You know who's in a household. Even if it says something about the commercial, it doesn't even matter if you live there or not. They just want your information. So it kind of struck me, and I'm just trying to figure out, puzzle to put the pieces together in that aspect of wondering, what is that all about? All right, so a lot of folks will be like, man, that's just crazy. Oh, they wouldn't push us to martial law. They don't have to push us to martial law. And having a way to do a lot of stuff is really happening in this format. So like the census can take place. You can get an accurate number. You can get undocumented and documented folks. All right. You can keep folks from looting and rioting, because this is a unprecedented time. It's a crazy time. This is history right now we're in. So you got control over that. You got control on how people are going to spend their money or their time, because all the grocery stores and things are closing, or not grocery stores, restaurants and bars are closing. So that piece. I mean, there's so many things that go with this whole confinement thing that's happening with different cities and different countries. So the 2020 census was the thing that kind of sparked my interest. Also, a comment that was made by one of the government officials that was made yesterday in regards to a stimulus packet. Man, and again, I'm on this road and they are flying. Man, I feel like I'm going like 100. But he talked about a stimulus packet to all those, to everybody, $1,000. First of all, we talking petty change, $1,000. What is that really going to do when the economy is collapsing? What are you going to do with your $1,000? Go buy some food? Okay. Buy some food to get you through. Okay, I can feel that, because some people might not have food. Okay. But that's $1,000. All right. I'm pretty sure with the falling of gas prices, food prices are going to go up at some point. Because they're always going to raise the price of the things that we need the most. And right now we're shutting down driving and things like that, travel. Gas is not a necessity as much as it was. So what is a necessity? Food. So just my own personal opinion. So the stimulus pack, like, be careful, folks. Be careful of what you ask for, because again, a lot of folks screaming, oh yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, send us this, and the third. When will we ever learn that some of this stuff happens to try to help us avoid our own self-inflicted disaster? So what I mean by that is we continue to lean on folks to help us and to be the saviors of us, because again, we're conditioned to do that. We're conditioned to believe someone else will save us when we have the ability to save ourselves. And that's through a whole bunch of different means, but that's another time to talk about that. But when you ask for things, when you rely on things from others, you lose the ability to utilize all the gifts and talents that you were given. Before all this stuff was in place, human beings were surviving. So there's a way that can happen. Yeah, we might lose out on some of the things that we think are great right now, but all I want you to know is be careful of what you're saying you want to take, because nothing in life is free. Definitely not no free money. I've never seen anybody just say, here's some free cash. There's always something to it. So be careful what you ask for. Understand that there's a bigger plan. I'm willing to have that debate. If somebody want to have that debate, talk about that. Like, there's a plan, and I can see what's that's put in line. Again, I don't know everything. I'm just aware, and I'm just seeking information. And another thing, sitting there talking to my mom, is some conversations about the stock market. All right, when the news starts to post, you should invest in the stock market, and telling you tips and tricks to invest in the stock market during this time, you think it's a good time to invest in the stock market? For me, I was all for it. Like, oh, this is great. You know what I mean? This would be a come up. I could take some money, stash it, and get right. But whenever anything hit mainstream and it hits especially the news, there's something else to it. So I just say be careful, you know what I mean, of what you're doing out there. There's other ways in which you can double up your money. There's other ways in which you can set yourself up for generational wealth. And again, with all this happening, who knows what's to come? Who knows? We might not even be operating off the same financial system that you're putting that money into. That might be a dead system that you're just throwing your money away into. So I just say be cautious of it, because whenever anything hits the news that tells you to do it, there's always something to it. It's like the next best dance crave. Like once that all hits, and you know, it's just like, oh man, well, what's behind that dance? Why is there blah blah blah? And that's just my opinion. But be careful about that. I just see too many people posting about stock market and where to put your money and things like that. Everybody's becoming an expert on the coronavirus. Everybody's becoming an expert on stock. But no one's really paying attention to the things that are really happening. We have a lot of famous folks coming down with this virus. What's the reasoning behind that? And why are they willing to come out and tell everybody that they have this virus? There's a lot of CEOs and things stepping down, major big wig folks stepping down from organizations. One being the Minister Louis Farrakhan stepping down from Nation of Islam. What's to that? I know that from the folks that I follow, a lot of them are saying that it's health reasons and things like that. Again, at this time, it's just more to a lot of the stuff that's going on. A lot of stuff, backdrops that are going on, key stories that are going on that people aren't paying attention to. The Weinstein character that's in jail, you know what I mean? Like, instead of him having a life sentences or something like 55 years or some odd number, like it's reduced because of his plea or because of the information that he's providing. Yeah, again, there's a bigger picture. There's other stuff going on. Again, we are in a very historical time. I just say caution of what you're doing. Always ask why, because that's what's going to lead you to the answers. And that's all I'm doing, and that's what I share in these daily journals. Just a little insight into what my mind is thinking. Again, I'm no expert. I'm just average Joe Schmo, but I love to seek knowledge in all aspects, and my brain kind of picks up and attaches to things that it's supposed to. My mind, body, and spirit as well. So that's just what I want to share today. Let today be a very positive day for those who are out and about. Stir fever is going to start kicking up. People are going to get tired. This is probably like day 2 of some of these folks being in their house with their kids. Out and about in the community yesterday, I didn't see many kids out. So yeah, when this thing started to hit a week, 2 weeks, people are going to get a little antsy. So let's connect via lives. Let's connect via these journals. Reply, comment below. Follow me on Instagram at Coach Rags or at WNU LLC or you can go to the website and kind of get some information and background on who I am, what I do. That's at WNULLC.com. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, so let's dive in. Let's make this next, I don't know, they got it for April, whatever. Let's make these next couple experience, joint experience. Let's share, let's talk. Let's have some social interaction since we're keeping our social distance from each other. And let's build on this history. Let's not let them write the history for us. Let's let us write our narrative and our history by sharing it with one another. So be smooth. Enjoy the day. Be positive. Keep those vibes up as it'll increase your immune system. All right. And keep yourself around negative folks, because that's a sickness as well. So, yeah, let's make the best of the day. Hey, be you, be authentic, be proud. Why not us? Peace.